Doesn't sound right to me. Welcome everybody to the world of Q&Asa. It's not cancelled. Illidan Stormrage once said to me that I'm not prepared. And he was right. To this day, he was right. He said it like 100 years ago. And it has remained true ever since. Tuesdays are your favourite? Why, Baz? Why? I'm not prepared. I started late. I set the show up late. Everything is late. I've been very, very busy burning myself out writing a review for a certain Hellblade 2. Which is going to be a good review when it's done, I think, by my own standards. So that's nice. Shite was wrong. Not doing it. Shite was wrong. This show started Gaming Arcadia. Oh, I understand, Pete. I understand. No, I've been reprimanded before for missing this one, for not prioritizing it over the others. I know that there's a nice little core of you that come here every week, and so I put the show on to make sure that we can have these conversations. I do appreciate every single one of you that comes back here to talk to me, even though I've got nothing to bloody say. What do you mean it's a bloody disgrace, Replicant? What's a disgrace? I'm here. I did it. Isla, you're all gonna cry if I didn't put the show on. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. Tony, you played Metro Exodus without playing the first two. Oh no, FTW did. FTW played Exodus without playing the first two. That's alright, isn't it? Maybe he read the books, Tony. Maybe he read the books. I lit all the torches down there. Do you know what? I can't remember. They appear to be lit. It was either me or that like fox creature that I have in Power World, who's probably still running circles of my base, lighting all of the torches. No, not true. He's bound to be dead by now. Did the pals die in Power World? Patrick, when was the last time you logged onto the Power World server? Dave Mack, I've completed so many games. Older than I look, you know. Completed loads of things. Yes, I finished Hellblade. It was like 7 hours long, so that's within my capabilities. Isla, you're going to make toast. That is okay. I cannot stop you even if I want to, so make it good toast. Tony, who's betraying who? Right, this is Q&Asa. I don't even need to tell you how it works. You will know, and especially when I didn't schedule the event in advance. Nobody's going to be here that didn't already know this show exists, so we know exactly how it works. It's just a big conversation. You talk to me, talk to each other, and it's nice like that, right? It's nice like that. You can join on Discord if you want to. Nobody ever wants to. That's fine. That's fine. You can throw money at the internet to get super chats on there. That's also fine if you want to, but you don't have to. We've got a Q&A box that might already be there. It might be there later. I don't know. I can't see right now. I'm not looking in the right places, but when it is there, you can stick your questions in there. Ordinarily, we'd have a space on the Discord forum as well, where you could put all of the questions that you ever wanted to put, but I forgot to set it up. Something like that. You've seen how organized I am today. I didn't get it set up, and that's what it is. So let's do what we always do. It's going to be quite a short show today because I don't really know what to talk about. So unless you lot are bringing lots of things to talk about, I'm not sure what there is, because I've kind of spoken about Hellblade yesterday, gonna speak about Hellblade tomorrow, can talk about Hellblade a bit today, also doing a review of Hellblade, and that's already totaled more talking about Hellblade than there actually is game to play in Hellblade. So that not sure how much we'll be going into that. It's not the only thing I've been playing though. So as I completed Hellblade, and I said it was shite. I didn't say it was shite. You're gonna have to see my review. I think you'll find it quite interesting. It doesn't hold up relative to the first one, despite being better than the first one in every tangible way. And it's going to be a good review. FTW is a fraud. He killed gaming single-handedly, says Tony in capital letters. But gaming seems to be alive and well, Tony. Are there any witnesses to this crime? I look excited for the review. I'm excited for the review. I've been scripting pretty hard today. I've been fairly hyper-focused on it. Talk about the Valve rumours. Yeah. We can talk about that in a minute, Stephen. Why not? Why not? Everybody loves to address rumours head on. I don't actually. I typically steer well clear of rumours, but that's a nice easy one to stick an axe to, isn't it? So we'll do that. Talk about Warbladey. So the thumbnail on today's Q&Asa is someone with an orb, like a proper... What are the looking glass eyeball things called in Lord of the Rings? You know the ones. Orb of... I don't know. But it's one of them anyway. She's holding one of them. She's got a cloak, and I don't know. Isla tells me she's from an Assassin's Creed game. I don't know which one. I don't play Assassin's Creed games. Basically, I gave her nothing in terms of suggestions for a thumbnail for YouTube. So she picked some art that was good and made about 20 different thumbnails for me to choose from. And you get Lady with Orb. So if anyone has seen the thumbnail and recognizes which Assassin's Creed game is going on and what kind of witchcraft is happening, by all means share it. But FTW, you were one who liked it. Who else liked it? You're going to be on the lookout. Good. Isla's eating Skittles. Right. Okay, yeah, so I completed Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 is better than... Oh, yeah, I forgot you can like Super Chats now. Hellblade 2 is better than Hellblade 1 in every way except the most important way. Which is significant. Because it does not tell the same kind of personal, internalized struggle that was so moving in the first one. So they've improved the combat, they've improved the puzzles, they've improved the pacing, the graphics are stunning, the sound is brilliant, everything about it is so very well acted. Doesn't tell as good a tale as the first one. And that is why I was negative on it yesterday. And I stand by that negativity. It's just not as good in that regard. But, you know, look out for the review and we'll talk all about it. Pete, I know you said before you were trying that Chance of Sonar thing. It's the like language code finding, quite bold, flat coloured thing, right? Katie is there for the toast, I'm assuming. Good. Chronic. She's learnt to handle her voices and knows she... Yeah, well, that's all well and good, Chronic. But it doesn't change what I'm saying in that the first game was an internal struggle against her own demons, and the second game is way more external, and she plays like a different role. That just it can't match what the first one did. It can't be as, you know, can't be as impactful telling the story that it's telling. So, and I'm not saying it's bad. Like, you'll see my review and you'll see that I'm not saying it's bad. But the first one was whoa, and the second one is less whoa. And I like yeah. That'll be my review. I'll make silly noises. I will articulate my thoughts on that game more thoroughly when I'm reading from the script that I'm writing for the review. So, yell things though. If you have played, like, absolutely no spoilers for anybody, but if you've enjoyed or hated or seen a little bit of or smelt the grass of Hellblade 2, then by all means tell me about it. But also tell me what else you've been playing, because that's what we always do. We talk about games. Isla, it's from an unreleased leaked one. Oh no, am I going to get struck down by Ubisoft for choice of thumbnail? Is it? So the Ubisoft ones that aren't released, they've got their little Infinity platform thing, which I don't think is a game. They've got Jade, which is the mobile phone China one, I think. And obviously they've got Shadows that's coming out in November. Oh, they had like a Hex one or something, didn't they? Oh, that'll be it, Hex, because it sounds all witchy. So she's from Assassin's Creed Hex, whatever that'll end up being called. I follow things that I don't even actually follow at all. Hex, thank you. Don't know where I plucked that out from, but I'm not going to put it back. So if it comes up again, you did tell me this earlier. That's not where I plucked it from. Don't take away my thunder. I'm upset now. No, you didn't say the name. Good. Good. Thunder returned. Excellent. But you told me that it was leaked. Okay, cool. Cool. So, how's everyone doing today? I've run out of topics. That was all of them. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's the main other game that I've been playing this week. I played quite a lot of that. My plan was to review Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as my next review game. I was on the fence. I was like, oh, what shall I review next? I've played quite a lot. I've played bits and pieces. As Dave Mack will tell you, I don't finish enough games. Really want to get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Dragon's Dogma off the table so that I can just free up the time that they occupy and get onto other games to review and all the rest of it. But I know RSP can argue, it'll come up later, but you can just comment it again. So I thought, I know, 2 birds with 1 stone, be a little bit more efficient. I've got to review Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Then I can make it my project, my work project to get on with and get the game out of the way. So I played a whole bunch of that. And the contrast between Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the point that I left it, and Hellblade 2 could not be more stark, because the last thing that happened in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was a random theatrical music show out of nowhere. Very camp, lots of dancing. And a Mr. Satan type character walking around in his underpants flexing and stuff. Then a little... Like, it's very unusual if you play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And then I parked that and moved on to Hellblade. Tonally not exactly the same thing. Dave Max still not finished Hellblade 2 yet. Just doing a couple of levels a night. So I played through it in like 2 sittings, I think, maybe 3. FCW, you've done what I did. You've got Hades 2, but you're not going to play it until release. Exactly. I don't know how much cheaper it'll end up being, but I had to buy it. It was a defensive maneuver because people kept threatening to get it for me, and then I would have felt bad not playing it when they got it. I don't feel bad for myself. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. So, tell me more things. Give me, because I don't know. Give me some topics. Give me some games. Tell me what you've been playing, or it's going to end up being like a really short show. Too short. I don't want it to be that short. A regular amount of short. Irregular, because they're never actually short. Isla's been playing Tabs. Totally accurate battle simulator on the achievement farming. Has anyone else played Tabs? Tabs is quite entertaining in short bursts. FCW, you're going to guess it'll be more than $30 at release. Yeah, Tony, you've gone back to Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is really good. I remember it being really good, and I remember I used it as a benchmark game for freaking years because it has a reasonable benchmark, and it has rain in the benchmark. So I could just watch it like fly over the city with the rain everywhere and go, oh, this is a nice game. So 3 months already, looking forward to the next 3. Thank you like very, very much for staying subscribed and for looking forward to all the things that are coming. So I know you've been playing Star Citizen and teaching Star Citizen to all of the students in the Discord. Stephen, your kids play Tabs and it's awful in every way. It's not awful in every way. Give it a go. It's not like it's not like Roblox kind of awful. It's quite novel. You just stick a bunch of stuff down and watch a simulation play out, and got reasonable campaigns and a little bit of comedy. Show you Tabs. Oh, I'm not set up for it. You've taken that thunder, stole it from me, returned it, and then shoved it in my face. One moment. I'm gonna show you this trailer for Tabs. Oh, I can't remember the button. Okay, it's working. Totally accurate battle simulator. It looks like turd. Very like simple, zero texture, low polygon art. Stick loads of units down. They're all physics driven, very basic AI, silly googly eyes, and they just march in and attempt to win the scenario by themselves. And it may look and sound terrible, but I actually don't think it is. It's reasonably fun. In short bursts. It's the kind of thing that you could play like while you were doing something else quite easily, even if you're a me that can't split focus like that. Because you just set it up and let it run. You like my magic purple rock desk? Is it purple? It's normally purple, and it's got hints of purple. It's purple when I take it out of Forspoken where it came from. But I very quickly changed the hue of it before going live. I don't really know why. I just did. Missed the name. This is on, or at least it was on Game Pass. I assume it still is, Pete. It's Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, or TABS. You might enjoy it. FTW is cutting people. What's happening? It's blurple with pinky purple patches. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, I see it now. I see it as it swells. It goes more purpley as it changes. Well, yeah, that's a desk that I might use from time to time because it's simple. It takes up enough space that I can sit behind it, and it's not a real thing, so people can't criticize me for being wildly out of scale quite as much as they normally do. You remember the name now. It's not got like the kind of depth and attention that a proper real-time strategy game or something like that has. But it is quite easy to sink a little bit of time into it. I've played it a bit. Pikanagi, you started playing X Defiant. It's basically Ubisoft COD with Overwatch-esque abilities, and it's pretty fun so far. Ant from Discord was playing that as well. I actually totally forgot that it had come out. Call of Duty, like just saying that it's anything like Call of Duty is enough to put me off the game because they're not games I really touch. So X Defiant, even though I'm now aware that it's come out, I'm not in a big rush to try it. But if enough people came out and said it's really good, we should play it on one of the community days, I could be convinced to give it a go. I'm not convinced right now though, Pikanagi. You've not done it. You've not sold it to me. You need to tell me it's brilliant and it plays just like Quake 3 Arena. Then maybe I would. Replicant, you finished Hellblade 1 over the weekend to set you up for Hellblade 2. Was that your first time through Hellblade 1? Dave Mack. What's the skill issue? I said I don't play Call of Duty. That's not a skill issue. There's no skill to launching the damn thing. If I actually got onto playing it, then you'd see skill issue. Because I'm friggin' terrible at it. But I don't have like a normal human brain. I struggle with camouflage. I've said this before. And it's not just a computer game issue, it's a real life issue as well. Some people like I don't really play football anymore, but when I did a bunch, if you played it like quite casually and people were just wearing whatever they were wearing, most people can handle that scenario just fine. I just like can't. I need nice distinct team colors like you get in real football, or my ability to understand who's on my team and who isn't, it just evaporates. I don't recognize people by looking at them. I don't recognize camouflage by looking at them. I don't recognize a little red or blue dot or triangle above their head. I need luminous green opponents, and then I know who to shoot. Ideally, I need those luminous green opponents to be robots so that they're audibly distinct as well. Then I'm playing Quake 3 Arena and having the time of my life. Oh, I want to play Quake 3 Arena. I should set up some servers for that. No, yeah, that's fine, Isla. You can say Illuminous. You can say Luminous if you prefer. But I said Illuminous. Deal with it. Don't deal with it. Leave me alone. Totally understandable. As a free-to-play 6v6 classic Call of Duty experience rather than a battle royale, you think it'll appeal to those that want the old school multiplayer more so? Yeah, because the old school multiplayer is only in the like expensive paid edition of Call of Duty, right? Which will presumably all start hitting Game Pass before long, and we know the next one will, but you're stuck. Get unstuck so that you can criticize me further. Who knows where you're going to stick the thunder next? I thought you were already making toast. Yeah, get that stuff done. Sounds well worth doing. Call of Doo-Doo, exactly. Painful Discourse. Pete, that's interesting. You're sure there's a name for that somewhere? I don't know if it's severe enough to have been named, but I'm sure there are lots of different ways that people like pass what they see. For me, Call of Duty is difficult. Constantly, like people will stand in front of me and I'll be like, oh, I don't know if you're on my team or not. Oh, you shot me. That's not the most fun. Which is why so Perfect Dark 0 used to be good for it, because on Perfect Dark your enemies had, like, they were nice and red regardless of what team you were on. Enemies were always red. I liked that. Quake 3 Arena wasn't naturally like that. You had to go in and tweak it. Mods had that default through the UI. It was very nice. So you could force the skin of your opponents, like what character they were. You could make it ones that made a specific noise and make them specifically bright. And then it just became a reflex game, like proper Twitch gameplay. Dave Mack, you haven't finished the day yet. If I finish games, you have to finish days. No worries, have a good sleep. Pete, to be fair, you're like that even when they have all of the flags showing. Yeah, Halo's like, this is one of the reasons that Halo works for me as a multiplayer shooter. You might think to yourself right now, like, you've seen me play it, it doesn't work for me at all. You're wrong, it works for me better than other games. Because I can set that luminous green and make everything very distinct, like immediately recognizable, so that I know what to shoot and what not to. Doesn't mean that I can shoot it, but at least I don't die in that like passing phase. It's called Pain in the Asa. No, Tony, like anyone that's a threat. So, pun ignored. What's so Stephen Southwick mentioned Steam. There was stop it. There was a little rumor that went around today. I don't know where it spread from. I think probably Twitter, where someone said that Microsoft were trying to buy Valve for $16 billion worth of cash. And everyone laughed because Microsoft can't possibly buy Valve for any amount of cash. It would never fly through any regulator. So that's that conversation tackled and addressed. Would Microsoft want to buy Valve? Hell yeah, of course they would. Valve are massively dominant in the PC gaming space. They have a monopoly to all intents and purposes. It's precisely why a company like Microsoft would never be allowed to buy them, even if they wanted to, even if Valve wanted to sell. So, not much of a rumor there. I think if you did dig into that and find out where the rumor came from, there was no credible source attached to it either. So, Pete, that's why you like being a horrible camping sniper. It makes life easier. Not on Quake 3 Arena, it wouldn't have. Best game. Standing still was just like recipe for death. Oh, I like that. And you can play Quake 3 Arena native VR on the Quest as well, and it's brilliant there. You can't play it as well. Like, the movement in Quake 3 was very particular, very unusual. In fact, this is probably one of the things that that Tony pointed out to me when I said that I'm not very good at Overwatch because I can't track opponent movement for some reason. Like, I find that difficult for different reasons. I can recognize my opponents, but I find their movement so erratic. And then I was thinking back to the game that I did like, which was Quake. And Quake, almost by accident, had a game of momentum. So when characters were trying to move at any kind of speed, they had a certain degree of momentum. Their directions were fixed in that moment. They were easy to track and trace. It was more strategic in that sense. Damn, that was a brilliant game. Yeah. Replicant is going to rail Pete, and not sure anything else needs said on that one. 50% off games at Game if anyone still buys physical. Of like what games, Baz? Like every game? Is the store game closing down or something? I don't have a disc drive on the PlayStation or the PC. I do still have one on the Xbox, but all games? How can they do 50% off on all games? That's interesting. Like, what about Stellar Blade? Picking Stellar Blade because it's the most recent release that I can think of that's a full price physical game. Because they can't have a 50% margin on a physical game, surely. It's no wonder games are so damn expensive if Game are taking more than 50% on every sale. Not that physical and digital prices should be coupled in that way, but they still are. Replicant, you love Stellar Blade. I'm going to play Stellar Blade. I assume you finished it by now, as you're saying that past tense. And that's interesting that you do rate it highly. In-store only. Game get about 20%. Well, then they're going to fuck themselves over if they sell a 50% discount on everything, right? You would think, in a way. Don't know if it's true. What football's on today, episode 13? And are they wearing kits, or are they wearing their own, like, you know, different colours and shit? I imagine game is dying, but is this like a clearance sale because they have died? Who knows? Painful Discourse, you're really not happy of rumours saying it is making a new Doom and not Quake. Yeah, I mean, Doom Year Zero was in the like documentation and stuff that was at some point said to have been cancelled, but definitely existed somewhere along the lines. Quake, I would rather see a Quake than a Doom, because we've had two really good Dooms. And Quake, we had Quake Champions, but that doesn't count. Quake Champions launched on PC Game Pass like a week or two back, by the way. Not Game Pass technically, because it's a free-to-play game anyway, but it suddenly had presence on the Xbox Store on PC. I don't know if that means that anyone bothered to try it or not. I bothered to try it. I didn't really like it very much. And to be fair, with the Quake games, I've never really been into their campaigns. My Quake journey started on the Dreamcast with Quake 3 Arena, and then went across to try some other bits and pieces, so it was always an arena shooter for me. But if like, I'd be quite happy to see it get more campaign gameplay, because it is set nice relative to Doom. There's obviously a big overlap, but that kind of gothic alien thing that it's got going on, I would like to play. And if I was really like lucky, then it might also come with a good multiplayer mode on the side. Unlikely though. I don't think you can ever get another Quake 3 Arena. I don't think I don't think gaming culture would accept that kind of setup anymore. You know, no like skill-based matchmaking and all of that kind of shit. Just here's your servers, here's a game, it's perfect, go and play it. Not good enough anymore. You have to have like leveling up progression systems and all that. Meh. Episode 13, can't play Hellblade 2 properly at the moment because of the whole wife and child scenario, so he's going to have a little look around at the graphics, but play it properly at a later date. That's my understanding, or what I insisted that he does. Yeah. You're in the front room. Good. Pete, digital sellers have been clever, never divorcing game prices from physical. We fell for it. Once upon a time, Pete, they had a reasonable justification for it, because retail partners were important. So if like Microsoft and Sony and all the rest of it drastically undercut them, they'd be hurting an important partner, and it did make sense. Like, it wasn't necessarily great for us as consumers, but it made a lot of sense. They needed them. They needed like a high street presence, and those were the people giving it to them, so they couldn't try and kill them. But that's not been true for a long time. The high street's not been important for a long time in that regard. Physical is a niche product that I don't want to go away, but I don't want my prices to be dictated and determined by the cost of distribution of discs, especially as that cost has only gone up and up and up over time as less and less people have been buying it, and all of that kind of economy of scale stuff has fallen away. Physical games should just be a lot more expensive than digital games now. Obviously you'd want that to fall in our favor and the digital games to come down in price rather than everything go up. But forever physical robot voice, remember the video. Of course I remember the video. So Shady, you're just taking a quick break from playing Hellblade 2. You got the quotation marks there though, so you're quite enjoying the experience and the graphics. The graphics are irrefutably stunning. So Shady, are you an Xbox console Hellblader? Or did you follow so many others to the PC space? Episode 13, come September or later, it'll be your daughter's room, so you've no idea what's going to happen. Yeah. You'll figure something out. Xbox in the living room, and I don't know, hopefully you'll manage to find some time to play. Series X player. I haven't actually looked at it on the Series X yet, but I do intend to tomorrow. Get a little feel for it. I finished the game through on the PC and done what there is to do. FTW, get out. Dead Cells is not better than Hellblade. Oh, wait. Hellblade 2. Sorry, no. For FTW, you're welcome to stay. I thought, like, in my haste, I read that as Dead Cells is better than Hades 2. Actually, I read it as Hades, but got my back up. I was about to be rude, but no. You said Hellblade 2. You're welcome to stick around. Baz, I do trust you that it looks nice on the Series X. I do. And so Shady, so the 30 frames per second, before it came out, I was saying I think that's probably just fine for Hellblade 2, and from what I've seen of it. I need to see it for myself, how it is when you're traversing around those environments and all the rest of it, in terms of whether the motion blur takes care of it nicely or not. But I suspect it's probably... like, it's the right choice for that game. It was the wrong choice for Starfield, it was the wrong choice for Redfall. But Hellblade... sure, I think it probably does make sense. I'm going to give it a go. PC, it is gorgeous. Yes, it is, Replicant. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous game. Especially it does, between its like missions and whatever, when it does flyovers of the landscape. Like, the characters look brilliant, but the landscapes are like, oh, that looks real. And seamless. It's just swoosh, swooshing over Iceland, and it's not a boring version of Iceland. Like, they've punctuated it and stuff with like little geysers and waterfalls and streams and prettiness everywhere, or more hazardous environments elsewhere, but it's so impressive to look at. It's the wrong choice for every game. I don't think it is the wrong choice for Hellblade on the console. On the PC, sure, like if you're playing on the PC, I'm not saying you should cap the frame rate at 30, but if you've got a limited amount of like rendering power at your fingertips, I don't think it is the wrong choice for Hellblade. Saying that without having played it myself to go and find out. But the visuals add a lot to that game. In fact, I would say the visuals were probably like a primary driving force for playing through it. Painful Discourse, you're finding that it's surprisingly fluid on the Series X, but you were okay with Redfall at 30 as well though, weren't you? You've got one of them superior brains that can process smooth motion out of anything. You can like look at a Christmas card and see a movie. Pete, back in the last century when PC games were 40 quid, you as a publisher sold games to distributors for around 14 to 16. Distribution and retail made good money. Electronic distribution is not as expensive. No, it isn't, Pete. They definitely do need to decouple. As you're picking up an Elite controller tomorrow, second-hand, 45 quid white version with case and bits. You thought it wasn't a bad price. It's not a bad price, but surely that's because the bumpers don't work or the sticks drift or something like that. I hope that's not the case and it's all just good for you, because obviously that's an outstanding price if it is. Someone posted in the Discord not too long ago like a magazine ad poster art thing for the original Xbox that had the prices of all the peripherals and stuff, and they had the original Xbox controller, like the Duke, for I think it was $40. It was an American ad, $39.99. But wow, do you remember when controllers were that cheap, but also when you had reason to own more than one, because the consoles were geared for you to have 4 in the case of the Xbox, so you could sit on a couch and play with your friends. Different times, different prices. Some of it better, some of it worse. So shady visuals are your top part of the title. Stunning just doesn't do it justice. You're generally blown away by the game, the way that the game looks. Yeah. You've got some good stuff still to see as well. I see people already making like hypothetical comparisons with Gears of War 6 as well, which is a dangerous approach to assume that Gears of War 6 will look better on console. I think if you go like all in on PC and you've got the hardware for it, Gears of War 6 has the potential to match what Hellblade is doing because there is the headroom to fill those black bars, and you can already get the frame rate up there, so that's an attainable target. But on console, if you want to fill those black bars and you want to double the frame rate, which they have to for Gears of War, don't expect the same fidelity all round. There has to be compromises to hit that difference in rendering. Which isn't to say that Gears will be ugly. Like, I think Gears of War 5 is still pretty freaking gorgeous. So, just a strange one to see people expect Hellblade to translate into Gears of War 6 when it has a very different target in mind, I would think. Not that 5 was shabby. I'd be quite happy if it kind of looked like that still, to be honest, but it is what it is. You've not had one go bad. You can't just yes. You used to. Oh, I see. You used to have a controller fetish and collect them. I had 8 controllers for the Sega Saturn. I had 8 memory cards for the Dreamcast, but only 4 controllers because that's what it supported, I think. Can't remember if I ever did the big multiplayer on the original Xbox, but I've never controlled them for this. Like, never collected them for the sake of the colors and the designs and all the things that Xbox keep putting out these days. Did you see the Hellblade 2 controller? That was not a good controller. Normally Microsoft put out quite pretty controllers. I don't buy them because I don't collect controllers, but they put out quite nicely themed controllers when they have a big game release. And they showed like the Hellblade 2 Design Labs controller, and it was just like black with red bumpers. Like, what? What? Did the team that makes the controllers have the month off or something? So I didn't buy that one, but Steve and South, we're talking a couch co-op. Hypercharger's coming to the Xbox. Can't wait to play that with the kids. Not enough couch co-op these days. Yeah, that's got a 4-player split screen, isn't it? Really funny to put them up and watch me struggle to figure out what. I thought we were friends. You don't want to see me struggle. I understand. I'll take it. Black with thin tattoos? No, Pete. Black with red bumpers. And Replicant, you got the Starfield controller and the Spider-Man DualSense last year. Am I a Kingdom Hearts fan? That's funny. No, but so like you say just there, it's coming to Steam in June. I saw alongside that announcement for the first time ever a snippet of Kingdom Hearts gameplay. I've never understood from a distance like what the appeal of Kingdom Hearts is. A Square Enix game with weird spiky head characters and Disney characters. Why would I want to play an RPG with Goofy and Mickey Mouse and stuff? Never got it at all. But I saw some of the combat in the little trailer that went by and I was like, oh, okay, that looks kind of fun. The setting doesn't do anything for me, but Kingdom Hearts has like real super fans. So Painful Wanagi, you're a big fan of it. Tell me why. What is it that makes the series good? Because yeah, maybe I'll give it a try when it hits Steam. I saw it's supposed to be quite good on the iPhone as well, if you like the portable games, which I don't particularly. Episode 13, your phone is on 1% oopsie. Replicant Kingdom Hearts is a series you've tried to get into several times and always dropped. Okay, I've not heard many people, weirdly, Replicant. I think most of the people that I've spoken to have been in one or the other camp. Either they love Kingdom Hearts and won't, like, I don't know, they just love Kingdom Hearts and then they don't tell me why. Or they look at Kingdom Hearts and go, what? No. I've not known many people to look at it, try it and not get into it. Tony, Kingdom Hearts story is so easy to understand. You're linking with a 14-hour video to get up to date. I don't want a video to get up to date, Tony. I just told you I'm going to play it from the beginning. Don't know when, don't know where, don't know how, don't know why. Don't know much really, do I? But it's coming to Steam. It's there. It's an option. I might play it. And I think it's all 3 games. If there's 3 games, the thing definitely had 3 icons. So all 3 games are coming to Steam at once. Episode 13, you're going to say Gears. You love multiplayer games. just couldn't get into it fully. There must have been a question flying around that I missed, or you just felt like saying Gears. I'm not sure. Yes, Pete, the controller's awful. They didn't want us. They didn't want blood and shit smeared all over it. The game is gruesome. Like, it's real. It's not the same as the first one. But some of the stuff that you see as you're exploring is like, ooh, don't like that. That's Hellblade 2, not Kingdom Hearts. I don't think Kingdom Hearts is that gruesome. Pikanagi, you're a Disney fan for one, but also as incredible frenetic action RPG gameplay. That's what I didn't realize until I saw this clip the other day, that it was an action RPG. I never even knew that much. I thought it was like 3D platformer, maybe a bit of turn-based combat in there somewhere, or I didn't know what it was. I assumed 3D platformer first and foremost. But yeah, it looked quite slick in terms of gameplay. Didn't know what was going on, but it did look like at least the moment-to-moment combat could be fun. And it's a wholesome coming-of-age story about friendship with like Goofy and Donald Duck and stuff. But the lore can be convoluted. That surprises me. That surprises me too. Didn't expect convoluted lore. Isla, you made the toast ages ago. Yes, you can do it. We all believe in you. Enjoy it. Make it good toast. Do the hot chocolate and hot water bottle and anything else that was on your list. And I just spilled water, which is my drink of choice this evening. I have water. Surprisingly delicious. Should drink more water. Remind me to drink more water on the many streams that I haven't been doing, but we'll start doing again soon. So, do we have any other topics for today? Give me some. There must be some. Well, obviously, like any questions that you've stuck in, we'll do those soon, but not this instant because Isla's got to make toast. Don't share pictures of the toast, Pete. What's up with you? If you want toast, Pete, go and Google pictures of toast. They're all over the internet. I drink water like an animal. Absolutely painful discourse. Not typically, but I saw some of them doing it and thought, hey, they got the right idea. Pictures of toast. Baz, you love the Gears 3 controller. Still plays and looks new on the Xbox 360. I've never had... Is this true or am I making it up? I don't think I've ever had a game-specific themed controller or hardware of any kind, actually. No. I said that. I was sitting here. I said, don't think ever had any themed controller for any kind of game ever in my life. And then on my desk is like this green screen's taking it away, Halo controller. So I'm a massive fraud. You should never trust me. Stick me in the bin with the influencers as person that shouldn't be trusted. What game is next that I'm playing? So, Baz, I'm hyper focused on getting my Hellblade review done. Don't expect it to be that soon because I'm very, very slow and thorough. But in terms of actually playing, I will probably jump back onto Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because I still want to finish and review that. Not gonna stream that one though, so there'll probably be other things, other bits and pieces on the side to stream as well. Might finish up Tales of Iron, Diablo 4. Need to get back onto that. Dragon's Dogma can wait until I finish Final Fantasy. And this weekend, we're going to play the finals on one of the days. So this weekend should be a double, a Saturday and a Sunday streaming thing. Oh, Monday's a bank holiday, isn't it? There's lots of time to play games this weekend, lots of community stuff. So we will have the finals, Halo, Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon are all going to be split across the days that we've got there. Maybe some other things, but the finals is a new one on the list. I'm quite looking forward to watching stuff smash. I will have the problem I described earlier. All right, I can't make my opponents a luminous green on the finals, I don't think. And I can't really track what's going on as all the buildings fall down anyway, but I'll be like kid in a candy store just watching stuff get exploded. So I'll be happy even if I'm losing. You probably don't want to be on my team when we play that. The controller that I have costs over 200 quid even secondhand. I didn't pay anything like that for it. I don't know where it came from. I think I actually got it by accident. Tony has sent 3 questions. That's exciting. Isla is saying Klonoa. Klonoa's not high on my list to play at the moment. Ashes to Ashes. Welcome. How's it going? Isla, you do have an Xbox controller. How are you finding that, by the way? As a lifelong Nintendo, PlayStation kind of person. Do you find it comfortable? Or is it horrible? Some people find it really simple to go from one to the other. And like, whatever they are, they can play with them. And some people get really fixated on the differences and don't like one or the other. Pete, if I can shout ahead what games on what days, that would be great. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to be as organised as I have been for getting this show on today, which means I will tell you what games we're playing 10 minutes after we're supposed to have started playing. No, I'll do better. I will do better than that. I will, like I've given you 4 games to chew on, but I will separate them by day before we get there. Yes, Replicant bank holiday weekend as well, so I think I have a couple of things on Monday, but probably something going on there too. Something going on there. Games everywhere. When does that 33 Immortals actually come out? I know it's got like a beta coming up towards the end of this month, but I'm not going to get enough people to sign up for a beta. When does it actually release? Because that might be an interesting one to throw in there when the time comes, at least once. And I think Fall Guys had some weird Sonic content that might be more entertaining than its usual slew of trash. I don't like Fall Guys, but I'm willing to play things that I don't like when they work for a good community session. What do you mean, boo? What are we booing? You don't like Fall Guys either. Don't boo. You hate Fall Guys. Baz, I will never play the finals, uninstalling it soon after you finish your season pass. We are playing the finals on either Saturday or Sunday this week. I haven't 100% decided if Saturday or Sunday yet, but I have 100% decided that it's one of those. World of Warcraft will make a good community event. The only problem with that, Replicant, is the many levels of grinding and prep or token usage that people would have to do to prep for it. I would very much jump onto World of Warcraft if we can get a group of people to play through it with me. Typically they like at other points in time. It can't replace the Sunday community streams. It's not like drop in, drop out in the way that I need, but I would like to play it. Stephen, it is indeed a bank holiday, but the kids are also off school for a week. Yeah, how old are yours, Stephen? Mine are old enough to pretty much ignore, like they need feeding occasionally. I can't totally ignore them because that would be terrible parenting. They're not busy enough to be totally ignored. So there is some burden of entertainment to feel, but they don't particularly stop me from doing the things that I normally do. Pikunagi, as a PlayStation and Nintendo guy, the Xbox button placement very much throws you off. Do you mean the button placement as in like because A and B are swapped around from the Switch? Or do you mean the offset analog sticks? Because the Switch Pro controller is offset as well, right? Isn't the Switch Pro controller broadly similar to the Xbox controller? Tony, you've reviewed the PlayStation 5. It's a placebo controller. No, you can use it, Tony. What you've found there is you didn't turn the controller on. If you think it's a placebo controller, then it just wasn't connected to the PlayStation. It does actually work. If you press the buttons, they do stuff in the games. Fact. And the PlayStation 5 controller is nice. The A button thing throws you. Yes, I'm the other way on that, Pikunagi. If I try and play a Nintendo game, I get confused. And I've gone into the Switch software and swapped the buttons around in there so that so long as I don't look at the controller, I can follow the prompts as if I'm playing on Xbox. But I think that's probably a mistake, because then I start second guessing myself if I'm actually playing games properly. So I might undo that. There's a sponsored crappy looking GameCube replica controller that's been going around on Twitter's that I was quite tempted to have a look at. That feels very Nintendo and very distinct. So I could get the one that replicates the GameCube setup with a giant A button and a little B button. That would solve my confusion going between them. The finals Saturday if I can. Okay, Baz, yes, book it in. Make a note on Discord for me that the finals is Saturday. You're the one that's been asking for the finals for the longest time. So I will absolutely 100% make it that way around so that you can be there. Isla, you can't play Minecraft? Why not? Why not? Oh, I need to sneeze, but I don't need to sneeze. Replicant, you prefer the DualSense. So I think if I had a DualSense Edge, that would probably be my favorite of the bunch, but I don't. Whereas I do have the Elite controller on the Xbox. So I like the paddles. The DualSense is, it feels nice and it's really quiet, which is useful. The Xbox controller feels nice too and has paddles. So that's my favorite at the moment. But Xbox do need to get that haptic feedback update going. You don't have an Edge either. My ideal is that I have 3 paddles on my Elite. Do I have 4 on the other one? No, actually, I've got 4 on the Halo one, but the one that I normally use on the PC, I've got 3 paddles. The original Elite Series 1, I found that I accidentally clicked that one too much when I was holding it, so I've got 3 paddles on there. And that's what I use the most to play games. So ideally, I'd like a DualSense Edge with 3 paddles. Don't have a DualSense Edge at all. Xbox controller is noisy. Like, too noisy doesn't make sense. And a lot of people have trouble with them breaking and all the rest of it. Some people have trouble with the battery life on the DualSense as well, but the rumble is loud, the buttons are loud. It just needs a little update, doesn't it? Needs this refined version to come out, which it will fairly soon. Oh, Ashes to Ashes, I've not heard of that one. The FlyDigi Apex 4. I want to have a look at it. Wait there, everybody. I also want... can't even remember who they were. When I was into Street Fighter 6 when it first came out, there was a particular controller that let you have the 6 face buttons. A Virtuix something or other. I wanted that too, but I don't have it. So this has DualSense triggers, adjustable hall sticks, FlyDigi Apex 4. DualSense triggers. Oh, does it? So Ashes to Ashes, does it have the half press like resistance triggers from the DualSense? I didn't know third-party controllers do those. Interesting. I'm gonna not bring up the trailer because I don't want to. No, I am going to, just quickly so other people can see what it looks like. I don't want to steal this person's content, but this is the controller you're talking about, right? What a horrible way to play a game. Not the controller, the screen that he's using. Tell me what makes it so special and I'll go and buy 6. I'm not going to buy 6, I don't have cash money for 6 controllers lying around. What about, does it have rumble or haptic feedback or none of the above? Some people don't like that for competitive games and stuff, but I do like that. Had somebody explain Hall effect to me. I see it whenever people are talking about fancy controllers. What does it mean? What's a Hall effect? Analog stick. Toaster activated. Isla. This must be your like 28th slice of toast because you started making toast at 10 o'clock. It's nearly questions time and I don't want to burn your toast by asking you for questions. Giveaway. And then actually I need to set up a giveaway for some fancy Gaming Arcadia merch. That's what I need. Hall effect can't get stick drift is your understanding. Yeah, but what is it? What does it mean? Because the Dreamcast controllers didn't get stick drift and they just had like magnetic ball bearings, right? Has haptic feedback for most games, which is curated by the developer. As in, but it supports the DualSense haptic feedback, does it? And you can turn on haptic themes that will probably play on the audio or the rumble or something like that. That is fancy. I'm going to keep this controller in mind. It looks expensive with its little screen that it's got going on. Tyler, if your toast is in orbit, you just make more toast. It's like, it's fine. If it was the last of the bread, then you stuck. You have to go into orbit with it. It's the same as the Dreamcast, just upgraded. So it's just a newer version of the concept that was in the Dreamcast controller. Cool. Pete says, yeah, uses magnets. Okay. And is there no downside to it? What? You want a controller that's easy to fix? Can't break any of the new controllers. Yeah. I want a controller that makes me able to shoot stuff better. And Ashes to Ashes, you've tried entirely too many controllers on PC. Definitely the best to you so far. You're always on the hunt. That's like good feedback. You should do a YouTube comparison video, you know, something to let us know pros and cons of all the different controllers. But I'm liking the look of that one. You're an excellent salesman. Have I heard the Bar 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 song? No. You may sing it to me. You may sing it to everybody via Discord, if you wish. Tony, you want one controller with Hall effect to try and Overwatch 2? Yeah. Yeah. I would also like you to have the opportunity to try that so that you can feed back on how brilliant it is or isn't. Pete, we're only going to know when the class actions start. Well, I don't think it's going to hurt anybody. Like if a Hall effect stick is going to break your thumbs, then that kind of makes me want one even more. But the one that I talked about earlier, you have as well the Victrix Pro BFT. Yeah, that's the one. It has modules that you can switch out for a fighting pad. You have that one as well. Parts are a bit cheaper fitting. Yeah, I wouldn't want it for anything except fighting games. Like, I'd never swap the parts around. I'd stick the 6 buttons on and just pick that controller up when I wanted to do fighting games. Not going to use the controller as like a weapon and start hitting people. Earlier, you can't speak German. But can you sing German? So, controllers, that's been a topic. Let's do... I don't know, what's everybody else's favourite? Like, best controller you've ever held across time and space? Pete, you're waiting for an ex-PC controller with Hall effects stuff for sure. Like we know that Microsoft have an official one coming kind of end of the year, right? That's going to have the haptics and stuff. I don't know if that listed the Hall effect sticks or not. But you'd expect they've had plenty of feedback about the noise and feel and build quality of the controllers they currently do, that we should get some improvements. It's very, very long overdue because the Elite Series 2 still doesn't have a share button on. So I don't know why they're taking so long to bring that model up to even the standard that the Series X is supposed to come with. But we haven't yet. I don't think she can, Baz. Maybe. You hope that the new Elite is quieter. Yep. So do I. I mean, I usually play with headphones. Oh, my headphones are shit as well. I've got so much hardware that needs upgrades and replacement at the moment. Not least of which, my TV is shit. I want a good TV. Good TV, good headphones, good controller. And then I'll get a new PC as well. Why not? Why not? And some other bits and pieces for the streamer. Eyes are too big for my wallet. Pete, your Elite 2 gets more fucked every day. The only thing that you can use it for is Community Rocket League. None of mine are broken. So I guess I'm fortunate in that sense. Very delicate hands I've got, apparently. Ashes to Ashes with you were closer. You have entirely too many controllers and headsets. What's your go-to headset for the games? So, more water. Like the animals. Water's really good. Why have I never drunk it before? Anyway, I think we need to get on with some questions soon. Isla, are you nearly back from the toast making expedition? I've been using the Nova Pros on the PC and the Lucy's on the Xbox. The Lucy's are the one, they're the planar ones, right? I actually want If I had like infinite wealth, then I'd get multiple headsets, but I want the stupid PlayStation earbuds for my typical like multi-purpose use. I can't read German, no Baz, but that's like, you know, that's just English with slightly different letters. Lucid 50X wireless. Oh, I think Lucid, is it? Luke still might have those actually. Someone's got them. They're familiar to me. I've seen them somewhere. Anyway, I'm floundering. I don't know what to talk about. So, question: you're going to be the FAM showcase for the first time ever. What should you expect? What's the FAM showcase? I've never heard of it, which means my advice on what you can expect is probably not going to be worth a whole lot. Or is that, you mean like FAM showcase, like FanFest, the Xbox thing, or something different? And Xbox FanFest. So I've never been. I would expect sweat, and that's it, basically. I don't know, actually. It should be like a nice positive atmosphere and good time in that regard, but I must admit, I don't think I would want to go myself. Because there would be people there. If they said it's FanFest and you can just come by yourself, then I'll be like, yeah, alright, that sounds good. But that's just me. Crowded places are like... Plus all the Xbox fans hate me. I'd be like on the defensive the whole time. You know what not to expect? Yeah, that's true. Painful discourse. I'm not sure if PlayStation have a fan fest, but we haven't got to questions yet. I don't know. People are just throwing questions at me in the meantime to keep the conversation rolling, which is very useful. Ashes to Ashes, you've never been, but you felt like you should go this year just because of the sentiment around Xbox. You'll even be able to attend in the... if you'll be able to attend in the future. Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to stop FanFest anytime that soon. And I don't imagine Xbox are going to go anywhere in future. There is some potential that who that core fan base is becomes less important to them over time. So, you never know. I mean, they stopped BlizzCon, didn't they? So maybe FanFest will get chopped one of these days. Surely Xbox is going to pull back on Game Fest after sacking 2,000 people and shuttering 4 studios. Nah, because whatever justified the cost of it last year hasn't changed. So it's not that they ever had a budget that was like, just spend it on superfluous shit and have fun. It always would have been. Like Xbox FanFest is Xbox's marketing. Everyone says Xbox needs marketing. Their marketing is that they send an awful lot of people free copies of games. And they do things like FanFest, and they hope that social media word of mouth is positive in their favour. More due to optics. Nah, it's still their whole marketing. I get what you're saying, but I don't think they'll stop it. And also, I think like optics shift, focus changes. I don't think that people will perceive Xbox negatively in like 2 months' time. Because that's just the way these things go. Like in 3 months' time, they'll probably perceive them negatively again, but in 4 months, they'll love them again. It's always like that. You kind of just get used to, like, it's weird just staying level in the middle, but it's how these things go. You feel that Larry was pushed? If he was pushed, he fell with grace, because he's not been all bitter from the outside, right? He's not done like the Mike Ybarra and taken little pot shots from the outside. Too old, I mean... Could be a part of it, because like where Xbox are trying to grow, Larry might not have been the best fit. Not going to get those like just coming out as school players by sticking Larry Herb on a podcast. But wait, is there a first question? Oh, I'm sorry, Isla, I didn't even realize you put one up. Let me bring the correct tab so that I can see it. Okay, this is the one. This is Pikunagi, and it's not supposed to be here. I started playing X Defiant. It's basically Ubisoft's Call of Duty with Overwatch S classes. Pretty fun so far. And my response to that was earlier in the show, because this one was an accident. It was pasted into the comments as well. So thank you, Pikunagi. I'm actually quite interested to hear your feedback on X Defiant as you put a bit more time into it, as well as your Kingdom Hearts advice. Ashes to Ashes, you think both sides felt that it was time with Larry? He seems to have gone reasonably amicably, doesn't he? So Pikunagi, it's not a problem. No worries. Look, I started the show at least 12 minutes late today with nothing lined up to talk about. So everybody can be excused for any faults so that I can excuse myself. Major Nelson still retweets Xbox stuff and he's all buddy, so you doubt he was pushed. Yeah. New Valve shooter leaked. Yes, Replicant. There was it looks shite though, right? I hope that it's not shite. I hope that it's really good. I can't remember the name. It's changed name. It used to be Neon something or other, and they changed it to whatever it may be. But it's described as a 6v6 4-lane MOBA shooter, which is a mouthful that is kind of appealing because I conceptually I think MOBAs suit me well, but I don't like the click to move top-down shooter thing, top-down gameplay that League of Legends and the like have. So Valve getting in on that genre could be really interesting. But more importantly, when this game was leaked and rumored like 2 years ago, whenever it was in development as a cross-platform VR pancake game. Deadlock, yeah, that's what it's called now. Thank you, Replicant. It had a different name that was like Neon Light or something silly like that, or Urban Neon, I don't know, some combination of those words, but now it's called Deadlock. It was conceptualized as a cross-platform VR pancake game, and if it doesn't release with VR support, that's more significant than I care to let on. That would be Valve moving away from VR content, and then presumably moving away from VR hardware, like hand in hand. That would suck. So I hope that is still the plan for it. I'm not sure it's like a good idea. Doesn't seem... You think it's difficult to balance controllers versus keyboard and mouse. VR players is a whole different way to move and play and do things. But Stephen, you wonder why Valve have never done Half-Life 3 or even a remake of Half-Life. Yeah. Like, yeah. A lot of people wonder that. Katie tried to your toast and hot chocolate. Well, Pete, your point was, can he be replaced? What, can Major Nelson be replaced? I see Major Nelson though, like, I don't mean this as a personal attack on him, but he is a representative of the parasocial relationship that I'm not keen on. So I hope he's not replaced in that regard. He seems like a nice enough chap, don't get me wrong. This is not an attack on him at all. He did what he did and but it was a job and it was weird. I don't like when you see weird brand activity on Twitter and stuff like that. And much as he had a person's name, he was brand activity incarnate, personification of that corpo friend. So, but he was nice. Was the episode 13? He was also paid to be nice. Replicant, the whole Xbox parasocial experiment has backfired. I don't know. It's definitely, I think, it's backfired for Phil. Phil Spencer has like spun lots of tales for a long time and then got exposed by court cases and all the rest of it. And it's backfired for certain influencers that built themselves up as weird characters themselves. But I don't know, would Microsoft be like better or worse off right now if they didn't have, like, they definitely have a big positive cult-like movement on social media that they fostered through doing this. There are way more PlayStation fans than there are Xbox fans, but you go on Twitter and the like and you wouldn't think that's the case. So I don't know. I don't know that it was necessarily ineffective or a mistake, even though I don't personally like it very much. And there's definitely been more pushback of late than there has been before that. Ashes to Ashes, you met him when you were at the Unlock X or contest. A super nice guy, but he'd been around since the rough days, and it was time in your opinion. Yeah, like, I'm very keen to point out that it's not a personal attack on him. I don't know him at all, personally. And I don't think he was necessarily like a bad guy for doing what he does, but also I don't necessarily want Xbox to try and replace him. I don't think that's necessarily a positive role to fill, because it's corpo slam. Not his fault, but it is corpo slam. Maybe Larry could make an OnlyFans, maybe Painful Discourse. Like, hopefully he's paid well enough and he can just do what he wants and have some fun and do game related things. But you ate some of Jack's chocolate, but you didn't like it. What kind of chocolate is this? So, wait, there's another question this is another one that's not supposed to be here. Why can't you like some Corpo Peeps? I didn't say you can't like Corpo Peeps. You can like whatever you want to like, episode 13. Just know that they don't like you. Painful Discourse. No, it wasn't. Redfall was okay when traversing, but failed with the fast boys and had large dips when there was lots of alpha on screen. I waited for 60 to play it again. This is the because I accused him of enjoying Redfall at 30 frames per second. Not true. He didn't. Nobody enjoyed Redfall. White chocolate, Karamakis with like Rice Krispie things. Yeah, it doesn't sound like actual chocolate. It is true, I'm afraid, episode 13. Replicant's right on this one. It is a one-way relationship. They are paid to present nicely to you and would happily never hear your name. You know, they are real people, like, underneath it. So some of them might have some... I'm not saying all of them are completely ingenuine, but... yeah, it's better to just assume they're not your friends. Ashes to Ashes, you liked Redfall and you beat it 3 times. Good. And good for just speaking up and saying it, because you don't have to agree with a consensus on whether a game is good or bad. Don't feel ashamed, that's fine. Redfall... I would say it was as bad as people said it was. More or less, but mostly because it just felt incomplete with vampires just standing completely still and not doing very much and all of that kind of stuff. But I got no idea if they actually improved it very much or not since then, since that launch time. And we'll never know if they could salvage it into a good game over time, because they're not even going to be able to release the content that they already sold, are they? So, Painful Discourse, you like it after the patches as well. I can't say that it was enticing enough to go back and try for me, so maybe someday if I get a whole load of free time, then I'll go and give it a go, but I'm not in a hurry. Ashes to Ashes, you think you enjoyed what you wanted the game to be, not that it was necessarily good. I only played the first like 2, maybe 3 hours of it. Wait a minute, Isla's question. That's not a question. Oh yes it is. No, I wasn't. Redfall was okay when traversed. Wait a minute. No. Don't double up on the question. You're doing the thing. You're trying to make me flounder and look confused. I'm glad the chocolate was horrible. Right, Painful Discourse is asked. Real Q&A, not a misplaced comment. What do you think about Hellblade 2 getting review bombed on Metacritic? Lots of zeros. You think Metacritic should be retired at this point, at least As for user reviews, though, yeah, I mean, I wasn't aware that that was a thing that's happening, but it happens everywhere, doesn't it? What's the controversy that's sparking review bombs, or is it just people that are like console warring? Oh, whatever main thing I said earlier was wrong. I hope you find some better chocolate that, you know, is nice. Joe, you massive super chat, you're behind, but a general thanks for doing this, for doing the show. A much needed distraction. Good, Joe. Like, I'm glad that it gives you a much needed distraction. Much appreciation for the super chat. The channel will grow immensely as a result. It does help a lot, so thank you for that. The review bombing is Xbox bad. Isla, you have Skittles, don't hurt your jaw. Don't hurt your jaw. So, no, what? You're confusing me. Right, even the way that I hold my water makes you feel poor. Tony, this is tap water in a ghostly pint glass, and I'm just not making you feel poor. Don't say these things. Could be a large vodka, it's definitely not. Either you playing Echo is getting confusing, but I feel bad for wishing you bad chocolate, so carry on. You do whatever's fun for you. But please bring up the next question as well. So Metacritic in general, they're painful discourse. Like, these reviews are obviously worth less than nothing if people can just go and leave reviews without having played the game. So it's not necessarily Metacritic's fault, because it's a very difficult thing to regulate without a lot of integration into various platforms to prove that people have and haven't played things. I do generally quite like user reviews in terms of like Steam's user reviews. They can't necessarily always be taken at face value. You still get review bombing and things like that, but you can get a lot of useful, you can glean a lot of useful data if you look into it, more so than you can take from a typical influencer. Information from real people has real value, I think. Wait a moment. Tony, show me your shirt. Flex your chest muscles so I can read it. I'm trying. I'm not going to lift up and show you, but it turns out, no, not much of a pectoral dance to help you on your way, Tony. It's just the Iron Lords t-shirt from a while ago when I was on the Iron Lords thing. Tried to do little pectoral flexing and I think I shit myself. That's not true. Right, next question please. Now you have an echo. Oh no, what's happening? Tony says, I shaved it and it feels funny. Oh no! This is Tony's pet cuddly toy dog. No! He's shaved his little fluffy dog thing. Guys is going to be so disappointed. Tony, I see you saying that it's your beard, but no, I'm taking that as being your dog. So, next question, please. He would like a photo of Tony's shaven dog, which I guess would be more interesting than a picture of toast that he asked for earlier. So, Minecraft server for your birthday. Yeah, deal. You already requested it, but do keep reminding me because, like I said, when I tried to log on to Minecraft, everything went to shit. My accounts got linked all wrong. I lost my scruffle skin. Sad times. Sad times. And I'm not sure how easy it'll be to resolve, but server, yeah, we'll make it happen. That'll be fine. Uh-oh, fun speculation. How's it going, Mav? How are you finding Hellblade? And Isla, could you please bring our... What's the next question? Birthday in 1 month and 2 days. I know, more or less. I'm terrible with dates, but I'll forget it nearer the time. For now, I know. Replicant. What do you think the big returning franchise from Take-Two reveal at Summer Game Fest is? NBA, whatever basketball game Take-Two used to do. Returning franchise for Summer Game Fest is going to be the Red Dead Redemption PC remaster release thing. I don't know. It's difficult. I don't particularly like Take-Two as a publisher. In like modern day, I think they're one of the more like, greedy kinds. I don't know. They lost their $2 billion a quarter or whatever it was. But I find it quite difficult to place what IPs they own without going onto Google and looking it up. What do you reckon, Replicant? Mafia 4. I've seen some rumors of a Mafia 4 actually, so that's fairly likely. You're hoping Borderlands. Did Gearbox not keep Borderlands in the end? Or did Take-Two buy Gearbox the other day? I can't remember. It's late and I'm confusing myself. Gearbox, they did, didn't they? They went to Take-Two, so they were at Embracer. There was a lot of talk that they might buy their own independence, but in the end they went to Take-Two with the Borderlands IP. We know that a Borderlands game is in the works because Gearbox said as much. I wouldn't think that Take-Two would... Like, I wouldn't think it would be referred to as one of their old IPs though in that instance. I know they published it in the past, but... They've always published Borderlands, yeah. But I thought Gearbox ended up owning the IP when they went to Embracer. I thought things changed when various acquisitions were made. Maybe not. Either way, Mafia 4, sure, why not? I don't know. I'm not good at guessing and speculation and rumors. Mav, you think it's more heavy on the mind when playing, more oppressive feelings, so you're going to need more breaks. I think less so than the first game on that. But definitely is gorgeous, yeah. And actually, eventually I came to quite like the combat in it. Wouldn't want Hellblade 2's combat to be lifted and put into any other games, but for Hellblade 2 it was quite enjoyable. I have to see how much Minecraft that I'm willing to play. Wait a minute. Let me see what I've missed there. Oh no, Minecraft's not likely to be a community games night. Unless you mean as a one-off. Depends. That's not how much I want to play. That's how many people we can get on. No, Isla, you're going to get your Minecraft. Don't worry. I'm just not sure that I can rope in a lot of people. There's a few people that like it in the Discord, but I don't know how many. Tony, you have a high suspicion that game reveals are actually approvals. A high suspicion that game reveals are actually approvals. Basically, if it becomes big and gamers want it, then it's a green light to continue and finish it. Nah, the problem with that, Sony, I've seen people say that they think that's how it should be done. Like it would be a good way to assess risk to get the trailers and concept done and shown to the public and then green light the ones that get a good response. Problem with that is trailers are expensive. The concept work that goes in before putting a trailer together is expensive. So... it's there's a reason that it's done the way around that it is up to this point. I don't necessarily want to get to a point where games that have a trailer that gets a negative reception or doesn't get enough likes on YouTube ends up getting cancelled before it's been made. But you never know, like, could get towards that point. I don't see them spending money on things before greenlighting them though. Quicksilver, you're playing Hellblade and you can't help but think it would be cool to see the Eye of Sauron in the distance or Mount Doom. Ninja Theory could make a beautiful Lord of the Rings game based on Frodo and Sam's journey. Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could. Lord of the Rings set in Iceland this time. Yeah, they could. I've seen people saying about their Enslaved game as well. Like having another go at that with modern technology could be interesting, which is true. Which is true. Lord of the Rings, like a dark Lord of the Rings, where Frodo is tormented by the ring itself in much the same way as Senwa is, I think is a terrible idea. Let's not see that one come to fruition. But, you know, words spewing out the mouth. Let's do Tony, you said you asked 3 questions, but this is the 4th question. This is, like, my mind is blown now, which is good, because the question is, which game has blown your little mind out of this universe this year so far? And can you do an end of year games review of those games worth playing that released this year? So I'm going to do the second part of that question first, Tony. No, I can't do an end of year games review for games that were worth playing that released this year, because I cannot keep track of time. I don't know what came out this year. Like right now we're only in May, and I don't know what came out this year and what came out last year and what came out when I was 6. So it will be tricky. I know year-end videos, things go quiet and people make them and it's like easy content and all the rest of it in theory, but time. It happened yesterday, if it's in the past, and I can't separate things out any further than that. So part 1 of the question though, what's blown my mind so far this year? I mean, Hellblade's the thing that I played most recently, and visually that's blown my mind, even though I still don't think it's as good as the first game overall, as discussed earlier. What else have I played this year? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a roller coaster of emotions in terms of sometimes I like it and sometimes I hate it, but overall I'm enjoying that one too. What else have I played this year? You'll note that the 2 games that I just listed are things that I've played this week. The only 2 things that I've played this week. You asked me about games for the year. I managed to think of the 2 things that I've played this week. So, don't know, Tony. Painful Disc, you're still waiting for a discount on Enslaved on the Xbox shop. I actually didn't like Enslaved very much. I don't think Enslaved is as good as people say it is. But, you know, have a crack at it, because a lot of people do like it more than I do. What else came out? Dragon's Dogma came out, right? Hades 2 going to win my Game of the Year? No, Tony, because I don't think it comes out this year. Hades 2 can win Game of the Year next year. But it's not going to win it on early access that I refuse to play. Please use the second question. Wait a minute. Okay. Stephen Southwick has asked. Episode 13, you can stick anything in the Q&A box, including complaints, so go ahead. Stephen Southwick has asked, do you think the Xbox Showcase will have anything on what their new studio is working on? What elsewhere? No. That is not impossible, because apparently that studio's been around and doing things for a couple of years, and the timing of the announcement could be because they need to establish who they are before they show their game imminently. So it's not impossible. But I'm still guessing at no. But it is just a guess. Ashes to Ashes, you think your question bugged out. Replicant for you, it's Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade's your favourite game of the year so far? Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to be on my list, but I haven't played enough of it. I'm still only like 4 hours into Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm sure we're like in May, so there's been plenty of things that I've played this year, because all I do is play games, right? So I just can't. Isla, you know what I'm going to say? Okay, put the question up. I'm ready. Painful Discourse, anything that you can get in there for the Wednesdays. That's how we do it. Finish this one. I think I did finish this one. I don't think that they're going to show anything that their new studio is working on. I think because I hope that they don't, because it is established as and introduced as a AAA studio that will be making something huge in a new IP. So even if they have been like getting that studio up and running for the last 2 years, it takes time to get a studio up and running. So if they did show anything, it would be a kind of meaningless fluff CGI teaser kind of job, which is pretty low value for a new IP anyway. So my answer is no. I don't think they show anything, but guessworks are not my thing. Isla, you need to learn Turkish. Yes, that would be helpful for everybody. Pikanagi, any interest in Bow Path of Till Lotus? Looks like a gorgeous Japanese style 2D Metroidvania. You lost me at the end. I was with you. I was on board. I was like, Bo, Path of Teal Lotus. This sounds nice. Oh, it's gorgeous. Japanese style 2D. I'm still on board. Metroidvania. You lost me. You lost me. I'm going to bring it up though, so let me find it. Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus trailer. Here we go. Oh, it looks nice. Wait, it's coming. There. Oh, I have seen this trailer before. Yeah, you lost me at Metroidvania. It looks cool apart from that. It's very distinct. I like what I'm seeing. But I don't want to go backwards and forwards to the same place. Getting all these new abilities and all that kind of stuff. So, it does look neat though. It looks very unique. Can't decide if it looks fun or not. Can't decide. Gameplay wise it doesn't look so unique. Gameplay wise it looks like Ori kind of movement, doesn't it? So maybe. All I can tell you on that one. I like the artwork, but I'm not sure I like anything else about it beyond the artwork. Yes, Tony, it did look like an Ori wannabe game, just like Zao was an Ori wannabe game. So we'll see, Peak and Argue, when it comes out, but Hollow Knight ripoff. Do you reckon, Painful Discourse, does Hollow Knight end up being responsive and fun? Alex, you've been playing Diablo 4 season. It's very addictive and fun. Diablo 4 is on my currently playing list. I saw you on yeah, YouTube was buffering. YouTube should be coming back. And Isla, could you tell people to refresh? It should be there now. Somebody please tell me at what point that cut off. I said, oh, Isla's in the background, so I can't even pretend I said anything smart or good or clever or funny. Normally, if I cut off, I'd pretend I had profound, interesting, hilarious things to say and you all missed them. But it is not true. I did not. Unsurprisingly, because the question's about bloody ducks again. Episode 13. Ducks. One is too many in certain situations. In other situations, I don't care how many ducks there are. The life that I'm living right now, there are no ducks in the house. I don't care how many of them are outside. So, that's my answer. Is that when it cut off? Was that the question that we lost? It is answered now. So, Isla, you would have backed me up. Yeah, I know, but I would have known. I would have felt exposed. I would have known that you were there, knowing that every time I've said it in the past, it wasn't true. Whereas I assume you believed me every time in the past. Right, Ashes to Ashes. The closures recently made me realise that the purchases have been more about the IP in your mind and not the studios or labour. Would I agree that that may have been the play? Ashes to Ashes, it always has to be the play. You can't buy people. So, in terms of corporations spending money on studios, it is always about the IP. Because people can leave. You can't force them to stay. So you can't risk spending billions of dollars on a bunch of people that might go, no, we hate you, and then go set up another studio or find another job. Yeah, agreed entirely. That's where the value is. That's why when Sony bought Insomniac, they cost like 300 million, not billions. Very, very talented team, but people can leave. They had no IP, so their value was low. And that's not to say there's like zero value in the workings of a company, especially when you get a behemoth like Activision Blizzard King. The people aren't going to entirely evaporate, but it's also not a fixed value that a company would be happy to invest in terms of personnel. So. Fully agreed, absolutely. Let's have the next question, please. Talent is important, which is like, it is important. You can't risk putting money onto talent because people don't necessarily let you keep it. You can't own that. Next question, please. Pete was a platinum member of Studio 54. Is that right, Tony? Painful Discourse, you're really bummed that more people didn't play Armored Core 6. I really want to play Armored Core 6. I just finished learning Turkish. That's good. Like, that was quick to learn an entire language, but good. It's a Duolingo session. I know. I still want to play Armored Core 6. I'm going to Painful Discourse. Not this second, but I'm going to. Pete. If you want a photo of Tony's shaven dog, beard, or punani, join the Discord. And if you don't want any of those things, it's still safe to join the Discord. Pete, don't try and put people off. You're going to have people leaving in their droves. Discord's suddenly like looking empty because you've been threatening these things. Episode 13, we already had the duck question. Isla, that's too many duck questions. I don't know about too many ducks, but it's too many duck questions. The same questions come up again, but this time with some emojis. It says, how many ducks is too many ducks? But I'm not going to answer it this time because we did it. It is a different one. It is not important, but thank you for bringing it up. And episode 13, thank you for asking questions and talking. I very much enjoyed your muted races on Sunday, but that's not to say I don't appreciate that you're usually there supporting and talking. You like ducks with green heads? Yes, everybody does. Can I stop looking at the emoji now and have the next question? Pete, your duck story in the Discord tomorrow. Do you have an actual duck story in the Discord? Ask questions. That's it. That means we ran out. We ran out of questions somehow. I'm gonna say what I say every week. I come on with the intention or expectation that the show will run short, especially when there's like when I don't come prepared with any particular topics or talking points. I just assume. I'll sit here for 5 minutes, we'll stare at each other awkwardly, we'll do what Senua does and avoid eye contact with the camera, just like awkwardly shift around a little bit. Everyone will feel bad and uncomfortable, and then the show will end, and on life will go. But every week we end up talking for more time than I expect, right? So thank you for showing up for another Q&Asa. Showing up and talking to me and keeping it all entertaining and nice and throwing up the questions and topics that kept it running for that long. So coming up, what's the day today? Today's Wednesday, so tomorrow has the Xbox Series podcast, which again we're going to get Gamsley and Deadly Headley talking about the old Hellblade. I'm sure can't avoid that one this week. It is the game to talk about, but there will be some other things in there as well, I'm sure. Then we'll have Friday. What's Friday? Fuck knows what Friday is. You have to wait and see. Saturday has got the finals, and I think we'll make Forza Horizon Saturday. So the finals and Forza Horizon on Saturday. Sunday we'll have Forza Motorsport and Halo. So we'll split those up in that way. A bit of shooting, a bit of driving on both days, but across different games. And then it's a new week, and we'll have to see what the fuck happens again. Painful Discourse, I'm glad you went to stick around for 1 year. I'm not glad that you're sick. I'm not glad that you can't sleep. But hopefully this was a little bit of a distraction to get you through it. And yes, that is the end for now. So, I don't know how many pills you took. That's the end of the show. So thank you everybody, and I will catch you in the Discord or on the channel or wherever else it may be.